Hello, family. Welcome back to another episode of Millennial Gems Podcast. I am your host, KILLA, and today, another special guest blessing us with their presence. I've known this gentleman a few years now, actually more than a few years. If we go back to like our college days, another one of my good college buddies. Definitely way back. Like I think we're like over like a decade now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
we go way back to like 2012. Man. Hell yeah. But family, I want to introduce you guys to my man Andres Tejada, aka DreSay.
Man, what's going on, everyone? Appreciate you having me, man. This is a cool setup. Absolutely. I like it, man. This is super official.
Hey, it's something. It's not, like I said, it's something to start with. I'm just, as I try to work my way to get my own studio eventually. This is how it.
I like it, man. Podcast is the way people are consuming content now. Absolutely. Especially with all the reels and everything. I like it. It's cool.
Mm-hmm. So first thing I like to start off. I like to start off every conversation with asking my guests and kind of, gauging how they've been feeling, maybe like the past like 6 months, I would say. Maybe if you want to just do like this week or this month. But I like to ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling physically, mentally, and, just brand wise? Like, 1 being the absolute worst and then 10 just being like the absolute greatest. And you can break them down individually, or you can just give like an average scale of like all three of them. But, how is Dre doing as of lately?
Man, I'm feeling good, man, especially this past 6 months. I've definitely just been putting a lot more focus on my health. My boy Caleb, he has a company called 2190. Just basically invested with him.
Oh yeah, shout out to Will Dilly, man.
Will Dilly. You know what I'm saying? Just my mental and my physical strength has just gone up this year. I feel really good on a like personal level too. I actually just got married as well, so like
congratulations,
relationship wise. Thank you, man. So relationship wise, I'm good there, and business wise, I'm doing good too. I was able to hire a few people this year and just kind of expand on the business and just work with more clients. And honestly, man, it's just like I'm going into 2023 strong, and it's only going up. Like, and just constantly investing in myself. But yeah, I'm super happy right now. I'll say 10, man.
10. Wow. Okay, that's the first 10 I got so far. First 10. That's good.
Yeah, no, I feel good, man.
Word. So how do you go about, so just in case you don't know, or anybody else who's just now tuning in for the first time, this is a self-improvement podcast. So, everybody has their different ways of improving themselves, getting 1% better every day. So how do you go about getting better every day? How do you self-improve every day?
I think it's just setting goals. Like, I think that when you set some goals, you actually work towards something. So whether it be your physical health, like in the beginning of the year, I was like, I want to get to 15% body fat. Like that was my thing. And I think I started at like 23%. Now I'm down to like 16. So I'm not quite there at my goal, but I know what I have to keep doing. Like I know that it's working. So I'm constantly just trying to have goals and then always just revisit them constantly, having them in front of me, especially in terms of like my business. I always say I want to grow my business, but I always ask myself like, how am I going to do it? And this year I started hiring people who are helping me with the process, with helping me with editing, helping me with filming. So it frees up a lot more space in my time. But honestly, I look at my life like almost like a calendar and goal based. So that's how I kind of get through it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just you finally getting you got some systems in place now.
Yeah. No, I have to. I feel like I'm one of those people. I have to be prepared going into something. Like if I don't have it in my calendar or, I get lost. You know what I mean? Like my calendar, if I showed you, it's just crazy. Like I even have like doing my laundry on you know what I mean? Like it's like from personal to business.
They organized. I heard you.
Yeah, but it's really cool that I have this app called Trello, and basically I separate it between personal and business. And then throughout the day, things that I think about, I just list them out. Okay, this is what I have to do. I have to go home. I have to answer this email. I need to send this invoice, and I need to do this. I need to edit this video. So I kind of put it in a list format, and it makes me feel good because once I get through that thing, I'm like, okay, I was able to do something today. I'm able to check off 3 things off my list. So I have like a personal one and then also a business one. So it keeps me really organized.
That might be a smart idea. What's this app called?
Trello. So it's Trello, and it's really cool. Like you basically just you make groups, like a main group, and then you can make subgroups of like what you want to do. So big shout out to my sister-in-law, Jam. She showed me that. She works in like HR, and she's really organized. So I'm like, what do you do to stay organized? And she uses that. So that's what I use.
Yeah, I'm normally like the planner type. Like I have to have like the notebook, or sometimes I may use like my phone notes like sometime, but mainly I like to have like the actual physical planner like in front of me. And then I just try to stick to like whatever I have blocked off at night, that hour, try to just do it that way. And even if I don't get done what's in that hour, I'm sure I'm gonna circle back to it, even if I don't get to it. But
and see,
I just try to make sure that I get everything. My bad.
Oh yeah, that's what I love about the list. That's what I love about the list is, like you said, like you're going through a list, you're checking stuff off, and it's the goal is not necessarily to check off everything in a day, but you feel good because you work towards the goal to get those things accomplished, to get your things accomplished. So me and you think alike, man. You just got it on paper.
All right, so let's take me back to before DreSay even like became like a big brand. Well, I know you're still like building the brand.
Yeah, we're working.
Take me back to like the beginning of like when you kind of got into like the camera and photography and like the videography, because I remember from my knowledge, I think it was like our senior year, so we were roommates and stuff, and I think that was probably the first time that I think I kind of seen you kind of exploring like photography and stuff like that. I don't know, like what was it? Were you doing that like before then, or did that kind of just start like 2015, like that year, like that final year?
Yeah, no, I started in like 2013, so my sophomore year in college. Yeah, so like I picked up a camera. My boy E, he does music, E the MC, and he was like my first. He used to do music, and I ended up picking up a camera. I was like, yo, let's just take some photos and stuff like that, and I slowly started to like really love it. You know what I mean? Like it really became like a passion. I was watching 2-3 hour videos on YouTube, and and I wasn't getting paid for any of this. It was just something that I just love to do naturally. And then the pictures I was taking of E, everyone started asking who's taking those photos, who's doing that. So that's how I started networking with people around the school, and everybody was super creative. Before I picked up a camera, I was very sports driven. So I grew up playing sports, football, basketball, soccer, like track. And when I went to college is when I really, started diving into what other people do, in the creative space. And I'm like, wow, like, I don't have the sports anymore. And it's like, I had to really think like, man, like, what can I do? Like, what else do I offer? I know I'm in school right now and that's my focus, but like, what am I outside of this? And then, when I found the camera, I knew like this was something that, I wanted to do. And I'm still around, it's one of those things where like, when you start something like that, you really have to be passionate about it. And you don't feel like you're working. You're just doing what you love. But yeah, that's basically where it started. I want to say like 2013. And then senior year, I definitely was diving in a little bit deeper, and you probably saw me doing more photo shoots and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like I would always see you
And
like around like the campus events and stuff like that with like UTA
yeah,
and like MSA and stuff like that. You know, just a lot of like the events they were like putting on. I'd always like see you there, like in the corner or set up somewhere, just grabbing photos. Even when you were there, like in the I forget. I think it was even like junior year, like in the apartment, like you were just taking. I don't know if you were just like
oh yeah,
all just kind of like congregated like in like the around like the table and stuff like that. You was just taking pictures and like the ones that you sent me. I was like, oh, these
yeah.
are dope as hell. Like I love these. Like these are fire.
Yeah, you guys.
So
Yeah, you guys were the
like I
test
was reading a moment
subjects.
ago.
Like,
Right. Just casual conversation and Dre just there. Like we ain't like mind you, I really didn't even notice that you were just there with the camera, like just taking photos. When you finally showed it, I was like, oh, these are dope because like those off guards be like super fire. At least I
oh
think
yeah,
so.
yeah. I
Those
really
are dope.
became passionate. Yeah, I really became passionate about like capturing the moment. You know what I mean? Like, you know, 'cause when you take a photo, you don't get that. You get that moment back by looking back at a photo. Like, that memory. You capture a memory. So whenever we were around, I was like, you know what? Let me bring my camera and stuff like that. And it was good practice for me. And also, you know, you guys are my boys. So like I also wanted to
Right.
document and like, our friendship and stuff like that. And I have all those photos. Those are classics.
Man, yo,
Those are all
I had
classics.
them. I don't even know if I still have. I don't have them on like this phone, but I remember before I changed phones.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
I definitely was. I used to love looking at those. I was like, yo, man, this is the start of something right here.
Yeah.
But obviously now, for those who don't know, like Dre, he's done some work for me so far. Like I've done what two photo shoots with you, I
Yeah.
believe.
Did some video, do some photos.
I
Yeah.
think we've done some content over the years. Um,
Yeah.
so now I kind of want to ask like, okay, when does like DreSay like the name, like when does this like become like a light bulb in your head? You're just like, oh, let me make this bigger
Mhm.
than what this is, what this is right now.
When it
Like I see
started
what I'm
off.
doing, but
Yeah,
like
no.
yeah, like when are you just like, all right, maybe it's time I need to take this up a notch.
Yeah, I think it was like the first time, like, is the first time it started off as a passion, but when I first got paid, big shout out to Nate. He's a fitness trainer. He really
LTI,
like
Mr.
was in my
LTI.
ear. Yeah, Mr. LTI, you know what I'm saying? I did a photo shoot for him, and it was free. I mean, he was just my boy, and I think he handed me like $100. He was like, "Here," and I was like, "Wait," I was like, "No, you don't got to do that." Like, and I think from there I started realizing like, wow, like I'm valuable. I could get paid for this. Like, not only do I love it, but I could also make money from it.
So
And from there,
sorry, not to cut you off, but like
yeah, go ahead.
what
Go
year
ahead.
is this? Like that just happens.
This is probably like, man, I started taking photos 2013, maybe a year after that. Like I was just connecting and doing photos for a year, like completely for free. Like before I even got my first dollar, you know what I'm saying? And when he
Mhm.
gave me that 100, I was like, oh, like I was just doing this for fun. Like I didn't think I was gonna get paid from this. And then from there, I started realizing that, wow, I built up a network of people, and I was like, man, you know what? I don't have to charge a lot of money. Like, let me see if I can get $50 here and there. And in college, I didn't have a lot of money. You don't have a lot of money in
Mhm.
college, so 50, you know what I mean? Like, you remember
Survival
Akilah,
of the
like,
fittest. Yep, I know. Survival of
yeah.
the fittest.
So I was thinking in my head, I was like, man, imagine if I could just make like $50 in a week, that could get me into the party on Friday, like, and go out, grab my little pizza
Right,
at night, you know what I mean?
right.
It'll be enough for me. And I started utilizing my connections, and I started making like money, man, like a couple $100 here, $50 here. And then I think it really took off when I finished college, and then I realized like, whoa, like people are recommending me now. So like now my reach is different. When you're in college, people go back home to different towns and cities and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
people had connections with small business owners, and like it just kept going and going and going. And I'm like, wow, it was crazy. I didn't even like put $1 into marketing at that time. And it was just like all word of mouth. Like, go do your photos and videos with Dre. Like, and I really appreciate everybody who did that, because like you don't understand, like that like really took me off. And now, I invest a little bit more in advertising and things like that. But that was the step, like that really took me off.
Wow, man. Man, I'm like proud to see like how far like this is like come, and like how far this is about to go. Like DreSay, I think
Yeah.
we're gonna turn this into like a worldwide um brand, with the photography, the videography, like are there
Oh
any
yeah,
other like
man.
things you have like that you do like outside of like photography and like videography as well?
Um, as I'm getting older, I'm reading a little bit more books about entrepreneurship, and
Mm,
a lot of people, man, who are successful, they got real estate. So I'm learning about real estate. I'm learning about stocks. I'm trying to, I love being behind the camera, but
right.
I also need to think about the future too. 20 years down the road, like, am I really going to be going out to these photo shoots and stuff like that? I got to think bigger picture right now. And
Right.
so, that's why I'm building up a team now. And then also, on the side, trying to see what I could do with some real estate, and, just having goals there too. I don't own any uh real estate property. Like, I own my own home right now, but like in terms of investor property, I'm working towards that. And, I hope to like dive into that, and do some more of that stuff.
Got you. Got you. Okay, so before like the photography and stuff like that, what what did you have like a specific like major? Like you already did you have like an idea of like what you were coming
Oh
into
yeah.
college like for before you got to kind of like the
Yeah.
photography? Because I feel like I kind of like when I met you, I feel like
Yeah.
obviously like photography wasn't like a thing of like on your mind. Like I knew you was in like something
Yeah.
related to like business, like accounting,
Business. Yeah. So right.
something like that related. Like Jamari was like, 'cause I know Jamari was like accounting or
Yeah.
something like that. But
Yeah.
kind of just talk about like
Yeah.
what you
No.
were interested in like before like the photography kind of.
Oh yeah. So I went into school for accounting, and, to be completely honest, I am an accountant. So like, well, what I do as a
Oh,
full time, I'm actually an auditor. So like, I do this full
there we
time,
go.
and run my business at the same time. And,
Mm,
I really wanted to really say that, because, some people think you don't have time to do everything, but, with good time management, you really can. The time is there if you really set aside the time. But when I went into school, I knew I wanted to be an accountant. Like numbers, I like math. It just kind of fit with me. And right now, I'm currently, yeah, I'm still an auditor. I got my first job right out of college, and that's what I do. You know, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday type of thing. And then,
right.
nighttime and weekends, I run my business.
Heard you. Heard you. So with this journey so far, up until like right now, what have you learned most about yourself, and what do you still feel you're like improving at?
Hmm. Um, one thing, you can never stop learning. So one thing that I
Absolutely.
really like try to do is, I really try to learn from all avenues. Like, I love YouTube. Like, man, there's so much knowledge on YouTube.
YouTube
And,
University, man.
oh my God. Yeah. Like, whether it be, just personal finances, just learning about anything. It's like, I really try to, like, I dive into something I want to learn about. And then I try to, find a book, or like, try to find like a YouTube video that will kind of fit that. And, yeah, that something that I actively working on is just trying to learn like more about investing. Like, that's my biggest thing, whether it be advertising, real estate, stocks, cryptocurrency, like just really diving into that. Like, that's like my next focus in the next like 10 years, basically.
Heard you. I'm like the same way, man. Every day I'm trying to learn something. I go to like YouTube and find something on there to kind of just give me like a little like background and kind of like a gist of what I'm looking for, whether it's something related to like trading stocks or
Oh, yeah.
even like what else have I tried to explore? I haven't explored the real estate just as yet, but
Mm-hmm.
I started to think about like what was it? Other business. Obviously, like I'm in e-commerce and stuff like that, so I'm like
Yeah,
learning like
oh my
marketing and stuff
gosh.
like
Yeah,
that.
e-commerce is big. E-commerce is
Yeah,
big,
very,
man.
very, very huge, huge field. But like, I'm definitely trying to find like my way to separate myself because I feel like everybody and their mama got a clothing brand, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
man, like I gotta. But I was like, that's why I kind of chose not to do just like regular clothing. I wanted to get into like the athletic space, obviously because one, I'm an athlete, and
Yeah.
I love sports and
And you know
fitness, so
what?
I'm like perfect field to be in.
Yeah, you bring your own, like, you bring your own flavor to the game. Like, there's a lot of photographers out there, but, they're not going to give you the same thing that Dre's going to give you. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
not the
I
same
feel like
experience.
it's the same thing with clothing brands and, e-commerce. Like, there's people who sell a lot of the same products, but it's really about the story and how you push it. A lot of what I do is I work with small businesses and I help them brand themselves and help them market themselves to their audiences. And sometimes, like, you just need to figure out who your audience is. You might be selling to the wrong person, you know, but
There's a
it's
gem right
definitely
there, people. There's a gem right there.
yeah, you might be selling to the wrong person, man. So sometimes just really taking a step back and saying, like, okay, who's really buying my stuff and who really has the money to invest into these products or services that I'm offering. And, once you got that figured out, just keep going after those type of people. And then, once you find that little niche, it'll work out. But there's a lot of
Right,
tests,
right.
there's a lot of trial and error. I don't want
Absolutely.
to sit up here and make it sound like, oh, I just knew I was going to work with small businesses. Like, man, I worked with all types of people, models, it was all over the place. Like for me, I was doing everything, events, birthdays, quinces, weddings. Like I did everything under the sun. And, and then I found what worked for me. And then I keep pushing to do that. You know what I mean?
Right. So, what gems would you? I know I like as you're still building yours, but what gems do you give um to those who are kind of like they might want to aspire getting into like the photography and the videography. Like they have that camera there, but they scared to just pick it up, or they're like scared to like meet people. Like what gems do you
Yeah.
have for like those who are just like aspiring to get into
Yeah,
this
man.
industry here?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would say is, man, you just got to go out there. Like, one thing I used to, when I got first started, I used to watch all this YouTube videos, man, hours and hours of YouTube. And then what I would learn in just one shoot, just going out to take photos of somebody, I would learn so much in that one shoot. I'm like, man, I got to focus more just doing the shooting, like, photos, videos, and less consuming content. Like, yeah, get the information,
Mm,
but don't spend so much time online. Like, and then, don't beat yourself up. Like, the first photo shoot you're going to do, man, like, it's probably going to be bad. Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, you got to give yourself some,
right.
leeway, like,
Time to grow.
to make a
Yep.
mistake. Cause and
Exactly.
then also give give yourself some time to improve. And you might go to a photo shoot and you mess up the camera settings. Oh, it's too bright, or the model's face, or you didn't give him good direction or whatever. And that's fine. Just give them another free shoe, or like just learn from that experience. Like sometimes, like when you sit down and you hear content, like you can only envision it, but when you're actually doing it, it's a whole different thing. So go out there, go make a mistake or two, and you're human. You know what I mean? Like just just keep working on yourself.
So like I'm actually kind of curious now. Like so like when
Hmm.
you first started taking like photos, how
Hmm.
did it make you feel when you kind of made like that like first mistake? Like how did you go about like remedying like damn I messed this up, or damn like the camera was like up too bright like the or something. I
Yeah.
don't know cameras too well. Like I know
Yeah. Yeah.
cameras just a little
Yeah.
bit, but like how did you go
Yeah.
about like dealing with that and like
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that honestly, I can't even remember like the first time I messed up. But one thing that I do is I always just like re-offer to, to reshoot it, or like, hey, it didn't come out the way that we expected. Let's redo this and let's do it another way. And most of the time, people are gonna like respect that because you also don't want to put something out that's bad or represents some. You know what I mean?
Right.
It doesn't like represent someone's brand and that sort of thing. So I'll just like reoffer to do it. Especially in the beginning stages. I don't make that many mistakes now, but of course, it still can happen. But you need to be open to, okay, if you're providing a service, it could be that you mess up a couple times. So um, just reshoot it, just offer to redo it, or offer them a discount on the next one, or something like that, just to make it right.
Right. So when somebody comes to, or like requests like a project to get done, I know most people, they're gonna come in with like, maybe some people may come in with like an idea kind of already set, but have you had those who kind of just like, I want a photo shoot, but I kind of like don't know exactly like what exactly,
Yeah.
like the vision of like what they want done? Like, have you had to, come
Oh
across some
yeah,
people like that?
definitely. Yeah, like I work with this brand, Naraji Glasses. They're a glasses company, and John, the owner, he knows his stuff about glasses, but in terms of the creative side, he needs help with sometimes the video and the photos, and he'll send an idea or two. But I've done projects with him where he's just like, yeah, how do we put this as a story? How do we do this? And
Mm,
that's one thing that I offer too, is creative directing, because sometimes like you might be good as selling your product, but you don't really know how the photos should look and stuff like that. So
hmm
that's where I come in. I'll give you the creative side of it, and we can market it and help you market it in a way that is cool, and whatever vibe you want it to give, I can help you do that, and I'll make suggestions. But yeah, I do that pretty often, honestly.
is the like the creative, like, would you say creative directing?
Yeah, creative directing. It's almost
So is
like,
that
you
something,
know,
I was gonna ask, like, is that something like that a lot of photographers like don't have, that you decided to like add to like your like package, like of what like
yeah,
DreSay is?
so
Like,
nah, that was a good question, bro. Yeah, so I basically evolved my services. I don't consider myself just a photographer anymore, because a photographer, all they're gonna do is go to location, aim the camera, and just shoot it. You know,
mm-hmm.
there's levels to the production side of my company, so it's not just I'm just gonna come out and shoot it. No, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk about your ideas, we're gonna talk about your audience, and we're gonna talk about the vibe you're going for, so we can bring this whole idea together.
Right.
Um, and you can utilize me. I've done at this point it's like over 250 250 projects, 200. It's just like a crazy amount of projects. So at this point, like, I've probably shot it, I've taken photos of it, video of it, like I know how it looks. I could show you an example. I could, we can work out a solution, for whatever you
Mm-hmm.
need.
Man. Ooh, that is something, bro. That is something. Oh man, I'm
Yeah,
glad
man.
you're in this space, man. So I have a little segment on my podcast I like to call GAME, spells game, but I use the acronym as Gems About Me. So
Okay.
I'll either ask like a question or just provide a statement, and you just answer to the best of your ability. Whether it's like a fill in the blank or you're just answering the question. So
Okay.
first
Okay.
thing is, my name is and I am.
Um, my name is Dre, and I'm an entrepreneur.
First thing I do when I open my eyes is.
First thing I open them. First thing I do when I open up my eyes.
Yeah,
I guess
kind of like
I
when
don't
you,
know.
yeah. So like, yeah. So like, I probably could have worded it a little like differently. Like I'm trying like different, like different questions. It's probably like when you like,
I
like
turn
people
off the
say like when you
alarm.
wake up in the morning, like yeah, yeah. Like it could be
I
anything,
turn
bro.
off the
I ain't gonna
alarm.
judge you. I ain't gonna judge you for your answers, bro. Whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I guess I don't really know. I don't have like a. I know some people have like a ritual. Like some people stretch, some people do yoga, some
Yeah,
But
like
honestly,
that. Yeah,
man, I
that's
get
why I
up.
was, yeah. Like I said, I'm not finna judge you for which of your
Yeah,
answer is. Just,
I just get up, man,
that's
and
what it is.
brush my teeth, and I go about my day. You know what I mean?
Heard you. Early bird or night owl?
Oh, I'm definitely an early bird. Definitely an early bird.
To cope with stress, I
Cope with stress. Um, I talk to my wife. Having somebody to really, she lives with me, so she understands how I am. So I think that having somebody there, yeah, talking to my wife definitely.
heard you. Speaking of your wife, just a little curveball. Top three
Hmm.
things you enjoy and love about your spouse.
Oh man, that's a hard one. Um, One
We
thing I
all
would
know husbands.
say,
There's many things, but just like the top
yeah,
three
yeah,
things
I
that
would
you just like,
top three. I
man.
would definitely say like patience. We come from two different backgrounds, so really, spending the time to, understand each other, that's huge. Also, um, being loved unconditionally. You know what I mean? Like somebody accepting you for who you are, like what you are, what you
Absolutely.
represent, like, you know what I mean? Just in the, who you are as a person, like for somebody to love you, like that's a huge thing. And then, um, I would say kind of circling back around someone, goal oriented, if you're not on the same page on life, you could really lose the balance. Sometimes, my wife, I do a lot, you know what I mean? At night, sometimes I got to edit this, I got to be in a meeting, I got to do this. And, having that person that understands and, understands where we're trying to go in life and,
Mm-hmm.
who has the same goals as you, it makes it so much easier. And, I think that's probably the top three things I love about my wife for sure.
Mm. All right. So, your favorite people to work with when shooting content or working on
Ooh,
content
this
with?
is a good one. This is a good one. Um, Man, I like working with, there's this health coach. She has a company called Get Sparked, Diana. Man, we've been working together for, I want to say like 3 years now. When I first met her, she was very hesitant in investing. She never made content before. And man, from like the time that we met to now, like she goes full blown like investing into content now. And I actually have like a shoot with her in a few weeks, so it's like she's very she loves investing in this stuff. And like it's somebody I really like enjoy working with because she's super creative. And I love people who are like, you know they got they got goals as well. So she's a fitness professional, health coach, and like her goals are all in order too. So I would say like, yeah, she's definitely like a person I really enjoy working with. Um,
Ah,
but yeah, that I would say, yeah, that's a top person for me. Yeah.
word. All right, and the last one, the DreSay Productions brand will be.
Will be successful.
That's all I'm looking for, bro.
They
That's all
it'll
I'm
it'll
looking
be
for.
successful. Um, Shoot,
Cool,
got to
cool,
speak it into
cool.
existence, and it will be. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, just a couple more things before we kind of, uh, you know, ease on our way out of here.
Yeah.
What do you feel? So I know you just talked about like your favorite person to work with, but like I know you probably get like a variety of like different people from like different industries
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
that you work with. So what group of people do you find like the easiest to work with, and then like who do you find like a little bit more like challenging, that kind of forces you to
Challenging.
kind of like dig in, like yeah, that kind of forces you kind of like dig in your bag just like a little bit more or so.
Yeah. I say I love working with fitness industry type. Cause man, it's just like when I'm around like you, like Akila, like when I talk to you, man, it's just like I feel good. Like, you know what I mean? Like I love
Right.
working with fitness professionals. It's like, everybody's like always smiling. It's always a good mood. And then also
Mm-hmm.
you respect the time because, you know, you're also like a person where everything's very timely as well. So like, I respect that when I work with clients who, respect my time as well. And I'm telling you, 10, like always, fitness professionals are like the best. Like, I love working with them. I mean, I love working with everybody, but when we're talking
Yeah.
about who's the best, I think the fitness industry for sure. And then I think the more challenging, I wouldn't say difficult, but I would say the more challenging clients I have are definitely like music videos, like working with artists,
Mm.
because sometimes they have a vision on how certain things should look, and sometimes you could kind of butt heads a little bit on what might look best and that sort of thing. And at the end of the day, it's their video. I'm going to always do whatever the client wants, but sometimes it may not be. It's a little bit challenging to get the final product, especially when we talk about the editing process. Some people want effects, some people don't. They want it more simple. They want it to more look like a movie. They wanted this, they wanted that. So I think that there's way more conversation, and you could, I love making music videos. Like, it's cool, but it is a lot more work, and it's definitely a little bit more. It's definitely a little bit more challenging for sure.
So, what have you had like a project so far that's kind of like really been like um not again like not like you said, like not like difficult, but just like someone who's coming is just like you really had to like, all right, this is gonna really take some really like downtime for like myself to really kind of help like bring this project
Yeah.
to life. Like, have you had like a project like that, or like multiple projects where you're just like, I'm not saying, I don't know if it like stresses you out or anything,
Yeah.
but you're just like, damn,
Oh
like, this
yeah.
project
Oh
is just,
yeah.
this is a lot, and like, so I just really
Oh
just need to
yeah.
like sit down and make sure I get this right.
Yeah, no, yeah. I've worked, I'm not gonna say the artist's name, but I definitely
Yeah,
worked
yeah.
with an artist that, they were it was, I had to put a storyboard together. It was a lot of work, and it was draining, honestly. And by
Mm,
the end of it, you know, yeah, everyone likes the video at the end, but sometimes, what you see is the finished product, but behind the scenes, putting it all together is stressful. It's not, always like sunshine and rainbows. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot that you go back and forth with the client, and sometimes, you don't want to go back and forth with a client, but sometimes you got to put your foot down, and yeah, it does get stressful sometimes, but yeah, typically that happens with more like working with artists and stuff like that.
mm. All right, brother. Well,
Yeah.
so I just want us to end on with just a few notes here. So what I want you to do is just leave our audience with, a gem. I want you to leave a gem from yourself, and also leave them with the gem that you heard that you live by.
Okay. Um, One gem that I would give is, don't be afraid to invest in yourself, you know, whether it be your health or, your physical health, mental health, and just your business. You know what I mean? Like, take that risk,
Mm-hmm.
learn what you're going to do first, obviously, but don't be scared to never do it. You know what I mean? If you
Right.
never do it, then you'll never know. And we're on this earth for such a short period of time. Like, just do it. Like, just do it.
Exactly. You don't know when your time comes. Just do it while you're still alive.
Exactly, man. And something that I heard.
Something that you live by like every day, like it plays over in like your mind every day. Like you can recite it back to somebody.
I would say like, I mean, it's, I don't know, simple, but like, I don't know, treat people the way you want to be treated. You know what I mean? Like, we're all in this world together, and we all come from different backgrounds. But at the end of the day, like, let's all come together as a community, look out for each other, and just really like push ourselves, to be better people. That's what I would say.
Absolutely. All right, party people, y'all heard it first from DreSay himself. You want to drop off like your social so everybody knows where to find you?
Yeah. So yeah, if anybody wants to give me a follow, you could just find me. My name's right there, DreSay Productions. You can go to my website or Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. You can check out my work if you want. I mean, there's like over 200 videos there. So if you're bored one day, you want to just check out some videos I've done. Trust me, there's plenty there. But no, I really appreciate you, Akila, for having me on the podcast. This is really dope. And,
absolutely, man.
I hope more success for you too, man.
Thank you, my guy. All right, family, we're gonna wrap it up. Stay blessed, stay gemmed up.